Where are you going?
What?
You want to tell us what we're doing?
We're gonna build a sub enclosure for 4 DD Audio 6.5-inch subwoofers underneath the back seat of this thing.
We're gonna take you on a journey.
Hopefully it'll fit. But it's my job to, I guess, make it fit. Scott sold them the biggest woofers in the world.
Because Sage measured the underseat
No,
to tell us what was good.
So I have to. I made the suggestion. Now I have to make it work, right?
That's it.
Wish me luck.
Good luck.
Let's do this.
All right, I'm gonna get you set up. All right, let's see what he's doing.
Whoa! See, they fit. Look,
Done and done.
they fit. See?
Oh, they're perfect.
Should do them like this.
That'll make bass. All right, guys, we're gonna get you moved. We're gonna go into the fab kitchen, if you would. We're gonna watch Sage. He's gonna build this enclosure for our Titan. So check in with him real quick. Doing that dumb shit.
Yeah, you gotta silicone spray the table saw so the wood slides.
Getting some pre-cuts done.
What's up, YouTube?
YouTube! Alright.
Just explain what I'm gonna do. I basically designed the enclosure and made a bunch of templates to make sure it's gonna fit under the seat, and then we went ahead and prepped basically our rough dimensions on each piece of wood because it's a wedge-shaped enclosure like this. So we're gonna have to calculate our angles and everything, but I basically pre-cut everything about an inch over overall dimension. This is the side profile of the enclosure. This template right here basically fits to be cut into the front and the back of the enclosure to go over the hump in the center of the vehicle. And then I also have a ring that I made previously for the DD Audio 1506 6-inch subwoofer. So basically have all my templates and my pieces pre-cut, so now I can go ahead and start assembling it.
Let's do it. All right, catch us up. Where are we at?
Okay.
He's like, I don't know.
I don't know where I am. No, I'm
Went from the
routering
stanky leg to caught.
doing the stanky leg and building boxes. This is the side. Where's my template, as Don calls it. It's the side of the enclosure. Remember the template we talked about? This is the side of the enclosure. The DD port tube will actually fit here. 3-inch port tube, which I also made a template for.
A template.
I was actually talking to Scott about why it's awesome to use birch, is because you make this out of birch and see how thin it is right there? It's still super strong. If this was made out of MDF, it would literally just break apart in my hands.
Super fun.
So super fun, yeah. So yeah, I just routed a hole in here for the port because the flange has to fit through. It's good, perfect. And that'll just go there, so.
Then it looks like a super funky box with a bunch of holes.
Yeah, so I routed out the holes here for the 6s, 2 on this side, 2 on that side. I got my arches cut for the center hump. I got pretty much everything cut out already. I just have to figure out how I'm going to seal this off right here in the middle. I don't know if I'm going to kerf a piece of wood, and kerfing is like when you put a bunch of lines in the wood and it makes it bend.
Homemade bendy wood.
Homemade bendy wood. We actually have bendy wood too I could use.
That is pretty clever, actually.
What's up?
That would work.
Yeah, it totally would. But I want to separate this, so I'll put a center brace on top of whatever I build here. So it's basically 2 separate ported enclosures, driver and passenger side, with the ports firing to the side. So I have to do this again. I have to router out that piece over there with that port. And I should probably test fit this at some point because I haven't test fitted it. I don't even know if it'll fit in the vehicle. I'll probably have to round off the back and do some rounding over and stuff to make it. And I want to round this off, or chamfer it, or 45 it or something to make it look better underneath the seat. Yeah. So we got our enclosure all cut out and basically put a couple nails in it to keep it together so we could test fit it in the vehicle, and it fits.
It fits.
Which is awesome. Just from measurements, it fits.
Just gonna keep the inside open.
I'm just gonna leave this. This is gonna be the port.
Be a 5-sided box.
Periodic. I'm gonna silicone it to the carpet.
That shit would be terrible.
Everything fits. Woofers fit. I'm gonna have to notch out the top because the magnets of the subs actually protrude past the top. So we'll have to router some magnet grooves in the top of the enclosure. Creative way to close this center section off. So that's what I'm going to work on now. shit out of underneath there when I'm working. I almost fell down.
It's recording.
Crazy. All right, so
what do we do?
All right, I got the center section capped off, center divider. So I got 2 separate enclosures. Calculated the airspace. I'm right at 0.9, which was my goal. So we could use a 3-inch DD like flared port on each side. I just cut my top down. Actually, I cut my top piece that I pre-cut to make another part by accident. So problem with this enclosure is the woofers are so deep, the magnet's so big, it actually sticks out past the top of the inside of the enclosure. So I just set up a strip and used a special router bit to mill out a channel in this, so you can actually see now. And also another thing, I took off the decorative rubber piece off the back of the speaker to get me a little more room, which is unnecessary. It's just for looks.
Factory unnecessary.
Factory unnecessary. It's just to make it look pretty. So now, I don't know if we can get into that hole. As you can kind of see.
I kind of see it.
Kind of see it, right?
Get the idea.
But yeah, this is notched out so the magnet fits up in this little groove. Now the enclosure can actually go together now. And then I can do some shaping on it and then get it upholstered, and then we have to build some type of protective cover over these woofers so his heels don't smash them. So that'll be the next challenge.
It would be cool. Your pockets came out cool.
Thank God for that bit. It's a cool bit. Get this all together. We're good.
And we be jamming.
Yep. Looks good.
Cool. Okay.
Next one will be a lot easier. This is our first Titan enclosure, so I have all the templates. Like I said, I just made this template. It's actually the center brace inside the enclosure, so I have that now. I have everything basically. I could build this box without the vehicle.
Yeah, and if I'm not mistaken, I think we'll have these available on our shop at soundsgoodstereo.com, and there'll be links in the descriptions and stuff. So buy a Titan enclosure.
Yep.
Yeah, we'll have adapters, enclosure options, the whole 9. So cool. Awesome. Check back in a little bit. Yo, what up guys? So we got our Titan. We wanted to cover some of the subwoofer system. We got the sub in here. I'm gonna pull the seat up and try to go over some stuff with you guys, show you where we ended up. So earlier in this video, you got to see some of the kind of the build process. You got Sage and his element building some cool stuff. But so this is what we ended up with. We got the DD 3-inch port on the side of the enclosure. I'm trying to sneak in here. we actually modified some of DD's bar grills. These are actually grills for their 15-inch subwoofers. We ended up just cutting the top and bottom off them just to have some kind of grill in front of the woofers here. But the enclosure, again, let's take a look. So fits under the seat nice, everything's good. We have a little notch in here is just for tucking the carpet and stuff like that, just to try to keep the enclosure a little more seamless. This enclosure airspace wise, what we ended up with was, I think Sage said we were just under 2 cubes. So I think we came out about 1.819, which is about 0.45 per sub. And then this enclosure is actually tuned to 35 Hertz. So this thing slams in here, man. We've got about 1,500 watts on this package. So what's that, about 375 a woofer or something like that, which these woofers, these are those 1506s from Digital Designs. These can actually run up to about 500 watts continuous. Obviously enclosure is going to affect some of that, and like obviously larger ported enclosures, you're going to lose a little power handling. Smaller enclosures, you'll actually gain a little, but that's kind of your rule of thumb. So the most important thing with your subwoofer systems, if you guys are doing them yourself or having someone professional do them, just make sure they're set up, the gains are set up appropriately. You know, we use tooling in here from SMD, which is Steve Mead's DD1s. It's his distortion detector. We also use his IMSG, which is a impedance meter and signal generator. That's how we kind of verify our tuning on these enclosures. We use the IMSG for a few other things as well, like when we're setting up tweeters and we're trying to find crossover points and stuff. We'll actually run some sweeps. He's got a new IMSG Plus coming out where you don't have to manually go back and forth and determine the FS, which is the free air resonance of the tweeters and stuff, to determine crossover points. But super cool tools, man. It's definitely important you have them. So whoever's doing your work, just make sure the gains are set up appropriately. That's the most important aspect of anything you're doing when we talk about an audio system like this. So again, guys, we just wanted to cover the enclosure. We got this thing in here. We're going to do a couple other things, and yeah, we just wanted to kind of go over some of that stuff with you, and hopefully our client's happy. So you guys take care. We'll see you in the next one.